One bad thing about this cold weather that comes every year in the fall time is you always go outside to get in your vehicle and your tires might be low or your battery is drained. And in this case, the Dodge 3500 that we just bought used, it was running fine and everything. Well, come out here yesterday to start it up and the battery didn't have enough cranking amps to get this truck started. I tried to charge them. They're very old, and that's sometimes to be expected with older vehicles. So I've got 2 new batteries we're gonna put in this thing. Well, yesterday morning, first thing when I come outside, I went to get in the garage door opener to my shop, and I put in my code to open the garage door and a little transmitter, wireless transmitter. That battery was dead too. That's pretty much to be expected. I got a new 9-volt battery I'm gonna throw in there. But we're trying to get this Dodge 1-ton fired up. We're gonna hook on to the trailer today. And if you guys remember that trespasser video, we did a couple videos back where the trespassers took our game cameras that we had down at the creek. We went ahead and cut up that black walnut tree. We kind of logged it up, and we're gonna put the grapple on the tractor, load it up on the Dodge 1-ton, and head down to the creek and try to retrieve those logs. Now that's been about a week ago and we haven't been down there since. Fingers crossed that the trespassers didn't take any of that black walnut. In this area, black walnut lumber is, or logs for that instance, is worth a lot of money. If you mill it up, it's worth a little bit more, but what they do is we actually have problems where people will come onto other people's property and cut down black walnut logs in the middle of the night or when they know no one's around, and they will actually harvest those trees and take those logs straight to the sawmill and sell them, and they get a pretty good penny for it. So let me show you what is the problem that we are having with this truck. Like I said, the batteries are dead, and on these diesel trucks, they do have 2 batteries. You can see this one had a lot of corrosion on it. I don't know how long it's been like that. I've only had this truck for about 3 or 4 weeks now. This one's not so bad, but these batteries are quite old. I didn't even see a date on there, but you can tell they're old. So a lot of you probably asking, why does that truck have 2 batteries? Both of our Dodge diesel trucks have 2 batteries. Not all diesel engines, but some, like these Cummins diesels, they take a whole lot of cranking amps to start, a lot more than what a gasoline engine would take. So therefore they have 2 batteries, and there you go. So I don't know a whole lot about all that, but that is why they have them. Like the Kubota tractors, they're diesel as well, but they only have 1 battery per unit. So I'm gonna get busy. I'm going to swap out the battery on the garage door opener transmitter thing first, so we can get in there and get our tools and all that. This right here is what I'm talking about, if you guys know. There's a little 9-volt battery in here. We're gonna swap that out, and then we'll get started on the truck. And then we'll load the tractor up. I think my dad's gonna come over here and help me. He'll probably drive the dump truck, and we'll head down to the creek, get those logs loaded up, and head back home. It shouldn't take us that long. Haha! Okay, so we got both new batteries in finally. Anytime you're dealing with old terminal cables like this, sometimes those nuts and bolts, they get so corroded they kind of just weld together. So I cleaned them up as best as I could, and then I used some of this battery corrosion preventative. I've never tried this stuff before, but it should help cut down on that corrosion. And these batteries got a 3-year warranty on them, so hopefully we don't have any problems. And if we do have to replace them, we'll be able to get them terminals off a lot easier. Now the true test is, before we put up all the tools, let's fire this thing up. Well, let's see if it'll fire up. So it fired right up. A lot of times when you go to buy new batteries, these things will be sitting on the shelf. They could be sitting there for 6 months to 12 months, who knows. They're not always the best about cycling out the newest and oldest batteries, first in, first out type stuff. So you always want to make sure whenever you do get this thing fired up, let it run for a little bit, let your alternator charge those batteries up. So I'm gonna let that thing run for a little bit, and then I'm gonna hook up the big utility trailer, load the Kubota M59 up, get the dump truck ready, and we'll head down to the creek. All right guys, as you can see, we got the Kubota loaded up. Everything's ready to go. Got my chainsaw in the truck. I don't know if we'll do any more cutting or not. I really just plan on going down to the creek and grabbing those logs. Lord willing, they're still there. Like I said, it's almost been a week. We haven't been back, and the trespassers go through there all the time, as you guys know. Black walnut is worth a lot, so hopefully they didn't find a way to get in there and steal our logs. But we'll find out here in just a little bit. We'll see you down at the creek.
on there somewhere.
Straight across from
Yeah, yeah, right in there.
the third one?
Right in there somewhere.
Okay, we got the walnut loaded, and then I went over and cut up the rest of that honey locust, and we got a pretty good size log out of it, and then we got like a smaller size log I'm gonna take home and eventually mill up. We got the old root ball hole filled back in. The bad thing about this creek is a lot of times when it floods real bad, it washes out right here on the edge of this creek bank, and the trees that are along here, the roots give way, and then the weight of the tree, it just makes them fall. So that's just an ever-going thing of Mother Nature. Got all the limbs picked up and put over there on the brush pile, and I'll show you guys the load of logs we're going to be hauling home. Pretty good load. This is that honey locust, black walnut. Got a lot of the black walnut. And here's the big honey locust. Oh, this is a big sucker. I think it was 27 inches in diameter, I think, when we measured it. I can't remember for sure. But we got some decent sized black walnuts in there too that'll make some nice crafting lumber. So we're gonna get these trucks turned around, and then we'll see you when we get back home. Okay, we got the logs unloaded. They are home secure. The trespassers did not take them. Our log pile's starting to, well, pile up. We need to get busy on the sawmill. Now that we got this nice weather, we really need to get that thing fired up and get to milling some of these logs. You guys can see here, these walnuts ain't the straightest, but you know, a lot of people go out and they cut down trees just for lumber and to get stuff to do crafting and stuff like that, to make charcuterie boards, cutting boards, all that type of stuff. Well, luckily, since we've had this sawmill, we have not had to cut down very many trees. It was either trees that the storms had blown over, or trees where they were overhanging someone's house or something like that, and they paid someone to come in and cut them down and asked us, hey, do you want these logs? If not, they're just going to turn into firewood. So we're pretty much repurposing these. Both of these trees here that we got, the honey locust and the black walnut, were down at the creek property, and they were both blown down from the storm. We didn't cut them down. You know, we like to enjoy nature, and we like to have shade trees and, you know, leave trees for everything. So we don't just go cutting down trees because they would make pretty lumber. So far, we've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to be provided with all these trees that other people didn't want or Mother Nature took care of. So yeah, that's done. That was another mark knocked off of our project list, thankfully. Thanks for my dad for coming over and helping me driving that old beast dump truck. It's still running good. The new 1-ton Dodge, it did really great pulling the tractor. Now I don't have to dent up my newer Dodge. So that is going to be the dedicated work truck from now on. So that's pretty much today's video, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know I didn't do a lot of talking and stuff. Sometimes that's not a bad thing, right? So hopefully soon we'll get the sawmill fired up and we'll get to slabbing some of this lumber up, or logs into lumber, something like that. So if you're not subscribed, click that little red subscribe button down there and leave us a comment, like this video, and we'll see you next time.